This is Justin AMZN on Tuesday, May the 4th be with you in 2021. Take a look at the 5 minute. So we ended up having a gap down, retested right back into both these lines, this blue line, the red line, rolled over. It was just a continuation from the sell-off that really started because of earnings and then continued yesterday and then continued today with a bearish retest gap. So this opening candle is the retest. The only problem is the options. I mean, it's really expensive, and this is 32.50, so we're still quite a ways away. Um, yeah, I mean, just getting this even this option into a dollar range, it didn't even touch the 21 till into the afternoon over here. We really have to even go further away, which even on a Tuesday, I don't like being this far away, but we can take a look at what would have been possible. So here we have a retest, gets close to the price that it was into the prior day. So that's one thing to look for, but you got to set up your own rules for how you would pick your options, and yeah, this one's too far away for me to use. It just didn't set up. It was just, like I said, a continuation. So you would have really had to maybe held on to something looking for that continued move lower. This would have some better option prices that were like the candles were less than $1. I like this one that pulled right back into $6. This was really nice. These highs were really just sideways through here, and it's just if it had gone sideways a little more and touched the 21 would have been a great setup. But any of these that were a little bit less expensive, you can definitely get those candles under $1 range, or at least retest into a level. What I actually, let me go back to the 32.50. What I did like about that one is it put in a bearish kind of high wave candle. And I know it's not a huge candle, but kind of an indecision candle right here. This was an inside candle. It had already signaled to break down, and then continued, continued lower. And then we retested. We didn't get a retest into that price, but we did on the put. So the 32.50 put came right back into this range. So this candle, though, was $1.50. You got the low here. It comes back into that range. I'm not saying that would have been the setup. That's very specific for things to look for. A high wave candle, a retrace into that range, $1 risk. Those are all things that you can use to set up what your plan would be and what options you'd pick. But I did just really like this level. This was a really clean kind of S curve here, even though it didn't really form much of an S. It got really small in here, really kind of quiet, not much happening. Okay volume, typical kind of morning volume lows. The afternoon volume you can see is much lower, but this was still kind of morning volume, and then just sold off. Like I said, we didn't touch the 21 till over here. We really flattened out in the 21, kept pushing back up into it. It's like, okay, at some point this is going to have some sort of a little bit of a push higher, and you can see that actually happening a little bit more when you look at the calls. So it kind of rounded off. So this call, 3400 call, started out the day really expensive, and then just really lost a lot of premium. Put in some much smaller candles down in here. So I was kind of eyeing this for a little bit of a bounce, and if this, even over here, I like that we were right into the 21. I was looking for this to pull back a little bit more. I thought, okay, if this can make another low, or relative low, which technically it did. I mean, well, not really relative low, made a higher low. But if it pulled down a little bit more, I thought, all right, maybe it would come down into like 550, and getting in like 550 by 450, get a little more of a cushion below the lows over here. But it didn't do that. You could have bought right here at 6, the stop down at 5, and it would have started to work, but it didn't move 3R. And this would have been a fade. You're going against the direction of the gap. You're going against, really the trend of the last couple of days. So, for a fade, maybe just take an R, just kind of scalp, get in and out. But we really want to be looking to make more than 1R to risk 1R. And that way you can, get ahead a little bit further when you win, and take back those losses. And it's not just kind of coming back to even. So, let's see. Oh, I wanted to zoom out and look at this. where these lines are coming from, like this is where we retested right here. And so this line's been on here for a while. Let me go to the hourly because yeah, so this was kind of the where this channel is coming up to. I think I talked about back over here, coming back down and seeing if that level is going to be something again. And sure enough, today, you know, it's really where we ran into and then just sold off from. So right now we're kind of retested. I'm sorry, we've pulled back and then we've kind of retested back up into the middle of this range. So it'll be interesting to see if we can come back down to the bottom. And um, this would be, is this tomorrow? Let's see, 5, 6. So I'm looking up over here when I've got the cursor just held. So like 5, 6. So 2 days from now, yeah, sometime during the day, if we come down here, then it'll really be X marks the spot on these. And then these lines came in just because this was kind of some pivots, and the other one, yeah, that was another pivot. So I've had these drawn in here for quite a while, but really X marks the spot in some of these. So yeah, just really good levels. I thought we would just continue to sell down, maybe get a little bounce and then go lower. But yeah, because we gapped out, we did the trading after hours or pre-market and retested from where we ended up, or from where we started out the day, kind of ran back up, then rolled down. But we actually had some buying to come in and some, you know, some candles that actually look like they're moving up, which hasn't happened in a few days. So everything has just been kind of sloping downward, sloping downward. This is the first time sloping downward, didn't break lower. So a little bit of a retracement, a little bit of an S curve coming in here. Looks like we may be kind of retesting some of these lows from below now. So obviously we're past this one a little bit. You know, if we come back up into like this low or even into this, maybe this turns into a little bit more of a double top instead of a head and shoulder. I still think head and shoulders. I think it could actually push back up again, but if it does start to rally up, I think that's all it could do is come back up like to this line or to the blue line and then roll back down. And that would be kind of a little bit of a different shaped shoulder. I do like when they're flatter shoulders because typically those will have they'll drop further or faster. You can't really get much buying back up into the right shoulder. But like I just said, we could just continue right back down. Next couple of days, come down here. We could push back up. Some buyers come in, and then have a bigger move back down. So, you know, really looking to see which of these ranges: the red line range going sideways, or the blue range going a little bit slanted up. And it's not necessarily exact because of how, you know, this is trying to just get a best fit. But it is really cool to see when they line up like that. So I think that's all I've got for today. Hope this helps. May the 4th be with you. This is Just AMZN. Thanks.